The Galactic Assembly had seen many embarrassments over the millennia. Civilizations that claimed invincibility and collapsed within decades. Empires that declared themselves eternal, only to fracture at the first real test. Species that boasted of technological miracles, then discovered their neighbors had solved the same problems 10,000 years earlier. But few moments in recorded galactic history were remembered with as much bitter irony as the day humanity was laughed out of the chamber. The humans stood on the central platform, soft-bodied and visibly uncomfortable under the gaze of hundreds of alien delegates. Their envoy wore a simple dark uniform, no bioluminescent crest, no ceremonial armor, no displays of genetic modification or cybernetic superiority, just fabric, metal insignia, and tired eyes. The laughter began when the presentation started. "This species," announced the Valnari High Arbiter, her chitinous limbs folded in amusement, "claims to have achieved faster than light travel less than 3 centuries ago. They request recognition as a sovereign military power." A ripple of mockery passed through the chamber. 3 centuries, that was nothing! The Dravax Collective had mastered FTL before humans had invented gunpowder. The Aurelian Hives had engineered living warships when Earth's ancestors still feared fire. Even the minor trading clans had histories stretching back tens of thousands of years. The human envoy remained still as the laughter grew louder. Another delegate leaned forward, mandibles clicking. "Your species has no known megastructures, no star forges, no dimensional weapons. Your fleets are modest. Why should the Assembly consider you anything more than a regional curiosity?" The human took a slow breath. "We are not here to threaten," he said calmly. "We are here to warn." That only made it worse. Laughter echoed against the crystalline walls. Some delegates openly displayed amusement colors. Others recorded the moment for archival entertainment. A warning from a species that barely survived its own industrial age without destroying itself. The Arbiter raised a claw. "You may proceed with your warning." The human nodded. "We ask that the Assembly formally recognize Sol as restricted space. No military incursions, no probing expeditions, no opportunistic annexations." A Dravax warlord snarled. "And if we refuse?" The human's expression didn't change. "Then we will defend ourselves." That was when the laughter turned into outright derision. "Ew," scoffed a crystalline being from the Kishtaminian. "With what? Your chemical weapons, your fragile hulls." The envoy hesitated for the first time. "With capabilities we do not advertise." The Arbiter leaned back. "This session is concluded. Humanity's request is denied." The human opened his mouth, then closed it. He bowed it in submission, but in acknowledgement. "Then history will record," he said softly, "that we tried diplomacy first." He turned and walked out. The laughter followed him all the way to the exit. It began 3 cycles later. A minor Dravax patrol entered the Sol Fringe, just beyond Pluto's orbit. Officially, it was a navigation error. Unofficially, it was a test. The Dravax were predators by nature, and predators tested boundaries. Their cruisers were armed, shielded, confident. Long-range scans showed nothing remarkable. Human defense platforms were primitive by galactic standards. A few patrol craft, scattered orbital stations. Nothing worth noting. Then the sensors failed. Not all at once, not dramatically. Just inconsistently. Range data flickered. Mass readings contradicted each other. One moment space was empty. The next, something massive seemed to be Tereth and gone again. The Dravax commander snarled and ordered recalibration. That was when the first ship vanished. No explosion, no energy spike. One moment it existed. The next, it didn't. Not destroyed, gone. The crew of the remaining ships panicked. "Enemy contact," the commander demanded. No visual, no thermal signature, no gravitic wake. Another ship disappeared. Then another. Silence followed, heavy and absolute. Finally, something spoken at over open channels, but directly into the Dravax command interface. Not audio, not visual. A data insertion. A simple message. "You are trespassing. Turn back." A commander ordered a retreat. Only one ship made it out of Sol space. Its crew would spend the rest of their lives being quietly dismissed as unreliable witnesses. The Assembly dismissed the incident as an anomaly. Then it happened again and again. Scout vessels, probes, smugglers, pirate fleets. Anything that entered Sol uninvited simply failed to return. No wreckage, no signals, no evidence of battle. Just absence. The laughter faded. Concern replaced it. The assembly demanded explanations. Humanity offered none. We warned you, their new envoy said. You didn't listen. Aurelian analysts suggested humans had discovered a localized spatial weapon. The Kish proposed experimental phase mines. The Draviks insisted it was impossible, nothing that size could remain hidden without detectable emissions. They were wrong. The truth revealed itself during the Karos incident. A coalition fleet, 300 warships, stringent soul in force. No pretense of accident, no deniability. They intended to overwhelm whatever defenses humanity possessed and claim the system outright. Their sensors detected the human fleet immediately and laughed. The ships were few, crude, visibly outmatched. Then space folded. Not violently, elegantly. Something slid out of nothingness, as if reality itself had been gently unzipped. The stealth warship appeared. It was enormous, larger than any human vessel on record. Its hull didn't reflect light so much as drink it in, edges blurring as if the ship refused to fully exist in normal space. No engine flare, no radiation, no visible weapons. Just presence. Coalition sensors went blind. Command links failed. Targeting systems locked onto ghosts. Then the warship moved. It didn't fire beams or missiles. It altered space. Ships found themselves suddenly occupying the same coordinates. Others were twisted, stretched, compressed and destroyed, but rendered non-functional in ways physics textbooks insisted were impossible. A third of the coalition fleet was neutralized in under 60 seconds. The stealth warship transmitted a single broadcast on all frequencies. This is HFY Resolve. Human language, translated flawlessly. You were warned. The remaining coalition ships fled. None were pursued. The galaxy reeled. Emergency sessions were called. The assembly chamber that once echoed with laughter now vibrated with fear. How did they hide something like that? Demanded the arbiter. A human scientist, invited reluctantly to explain, spoke plainly. We never won wars by being bigger, she said. We won by being smarter, quieter, and faster to adapt. Stealth isn't a system to use, it's a philosophy. She explained how humans had learned it early in their history, that advertising strength invited challenge, that survival often meant appearing weak until it was too late. We don't build the biggest fleets, she continued. We build the ones you can't see. The stealth warship wasn't unique. It was a prototype. Dozens more were already operational. Hundreds were under construction. And they weren't designed for conquest. They were designed to make invasions impossible. The assembly voted unanimously. Soul was declared permanently restricted. Humanity was recognized as a Tier 1 defensive power. The laughter was never mentioned again. Years later, a young alien cadet studied the historical recordings. Why didn't they just show their strength from the start? He asked his instructor. The old historian clicked thoughtfully. Because, he said, humans understand something many of us never did. What's that? That the most dangerous thing in the universe is a species that doesn't need to prove how dangerous it is. Somewhere in the dark between stars, a stealth warship drifted, silently unseen, unchallenged, and very much awake. And the galaxy remembered.